Hey guys, welcome back and hello to you new people too. I'm Courtney, this is Phyrra, and Nyx is down at my feet so you can't see her, but she's here. So today I'm going to be talking about my 8 tricks for making eyeshadow blending easier. Number 1, use an eyeshadow primer. I usually use Too Faced Shadow Insurance. I also really love Urban Decay's Primer Potion, but you put on an eyeshadow primer and think of it like a bare canvas for your eyeshadow. You put it on, it smooths things out, and then you can have magic happen. Using an eyeshadow primer basically helps to lock in your eyeshadow so it lasts all day without creasing or fading. So after I apply my eyeshadow primer, I like to take a big fluffy brush like the Delium Tool 787 brush and apply translucent setting powder. This is a Milani's Prep Set Go translucent setting powder. There's no shimmer to it, it's just a translucent white powder. And you take this big brush and work in big circles all over the eyeshadow primer just to make sure that it's completely dry. If your eyeshadow primer has any wet spots, then when you go to apply your eyeshadow, the color will kind of clump there and it'll be darker and it'll look different. So it'll make it harder to blend and it's not going to look as smooth and it won't be as easy to work with. Number 3, and this is also very important, experiment with transitional colors. So a transitional color is a color that's normally just a little bit darker than your skin tone. For my skin tone, I really like lighter colors like pastel shades, which you can, mix with white to make lighter. My Pastel Goth palette is perfect for me for transitional colors. It's one of the reasons I wanted it because it's a rainbow of colors, so I can make it as light or as deep as I want by using the gray and the white to change the color. Other great transitional colors that I have are colors like this, which is Urban Decay Laced. This is like a pinky taupe, and that works with like pinks and plums and purples. I also really like Urban Decay Teased, which is kind of like a taupe with maybe a purple undertone. That's another really good one to work with. You could also use Urban Decay's Bust. For warmer colors, I like things like Darling Girl Break the Internet, which is like a warm peachy beige color. Makeup Geek Buffed, which is in the nudes palette. It's this color right here. It's this like peach color. But basically, I use lighter colors like that as the transition color on the hood of my eye. And again, I'll apply it with a larger, fluffier brush and make it soft so that whenever I get into the deeper or more intense colors, there's a soft color that kind of helps it transition onto my brow bone and my skin. So then it's not as harsh of, it's not as harsh of an edge, and it just looks better and looks like it looks like you've done more with your eyeshadow. Next, you need some really good blending brushes. Now, the 2 blending brushes that I probably use the most are these 2. This is the Sigma E25, and this is the Urban Decay's Iconic brush. They both have a similar shape in that they are wider this way, narrower this way, and they have a rounded tip. This makes them really great at applying like my crease color, or if I'm going to do the smoky dome shape, my smoky dome color, and then blending it out. They're fantastic for that. But the other thing that I've learned is you do need more than just one blending brush to make your eye look again more blended and like it's had a lot of time put into it. So some other blending brushes that I like are like this. This is the Real Techniques B04 brush. I will put a link to that video so you can see this brush in action because it is a really awesome brush. It is very rounded and tapered, so it does a really good job of blending color. And things don't go muddy with this brush. I also find brushes like this, which is again that same sort of tapered shape, to be very good for blending. This is the Real Techniques multitasking brush. Often after I think everything is properly blended, I'll go back very, very lightly with a brush like this. This is the Sigma E35. It's basically rounded but not as tapered, and I will just very, very softly blend in circles with it. Another recent acquisition for blending is this Real Techniques shadow brush, which is one of those like funky brush heads. This is great for blending your colors too. And if you find it hard to hold a brush like this and blend it in circles, you might find this easier to hold and blend just because it's a different shape, and I think it gives you a little bit better control if you are struggling with blending. You can also use a damp Miracle sponge. These are Real Technique sponges, but these small sponges, you get them wet, you squeeze them out so that they're not dripping water. And then you can use these to blend on your eyeshadow as well. I think they're great. Now, if you have hooded eyes like mine, there are 2 brushes that might be really, really useful for you. One is the E36, and that's a great brush that basically you can just pop into here in your eye socket and work it into the outer V shape to blend out like your deepest color. But before I use this brush, I will often use this brush, which is the E47 by Sigma, to basically kind of apply that basically when I'm trying to build up color, I'll use like a light shade, a light medium shade, a medium shade, and then a deep shade. I'll use this one for that medium or that deep color to apply it, and then go back and blend more with this. So these colors are these brushes are very, very useful for my hooded eyes. So my next tip is one that I wish I had known years ago, and it's after you dip your brush in a product, tap off the excess, like a music conductor taps something off. Tap it off, and then put your brush where you want the darkest color to be, or like where you want the most pigment to be deposited. So you basically put the brush there and then start working it out to apply it or blend it or whatever you're going to do with it. But I wish I had known that before, because basically it helps to prevent fallout on your face because you're tapping off the excess, and it makes everything apply more smoothly. Now the next tip is one that my friend Kaylee taught me, and it's where you take a brush like this. This is the E38 from Sigma, and you blend in a circle when you're trying to blend like the outer corner, but you don't want the colors to go muddy and you don't want it to go too far in any one direction. You need to hold your brush in place and blend it in a circle. I find that very difficult to do, which is one of the reasons why I picked up this brush. I feel like it's a little easier for me to use this brush to blend in a circle and stay in one place than it is for me to twist a brush in place. I don't know why, I just do. But if you can't do either of those, I would go back and use one of these little miracle sponges to kind of like basically pat in a circle to help blend. One thing that I have learned since I've started experimenting with using shimmery shades on the hood of my eye, which I used to not do because I was told that you're never supposed to do that with hooded eyes, is that if you put on a matte color and you can't get that matte color to blend out very easily, try to use a similar shimmery color where you want to blend. So today I used several colors from the Doggo set from Geek Chic, and I didn't have a problem because they all have a little bit of shimmer. But if I were to say put a matte cranberry at the outer part of my eye and I couldn't get it to blend out just right because I needed to have a little bit of shimmer for accent, I might find a slightly deeper red shimmery shade or a slightly lighter red shimmery shade, but something that's kind of close, and just gently blend that on top to see if I can blend the colors together so there's a nice gradient rather than just like really, really dark, really, really light. Now, one of the cool tricks that my friend Mickey taught me for eyeshadow blending is that if you're having trouble with your transition color and you can't get it to blend out, what you should do is grab your favorite bronzer and use that as like an additional transition shade. So I love the Physicians Formula Mura Butter Bronzer. I would use this in addition to another color to try to help create that nice gradient from my color to my skin. So there you have it. There are my tricks to make eyeshadow blending easier. Please be sure to let me know what you think in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, informative, fun, or entertaining, please give it a thumbs up and share. I love it when you share my videos. It makes my day. And if you haven't already, click that little subscribe button down below so you don't miss my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.